Daniel Dubois, he challenged Usyk in the ring after the fight.
These guys are begging now for the payday because they know who the king is.
That's right.
And these guys need him. He doesn't need them.
No.
Oleksandr Usyk can choose to fight whoever he wants. He is now the draw in the heavyweight division. He is the big name.
I think Daniel Dubois, he's on a roll. He's coming off of a massive win against AJ. Usyk's also on a massive roll. So I think that fight's going to come down to mindset.
Yeah, I do. I fancy him big time. I wouldn't let him go forward in the fight if I didn't fancy him, and I think he will knock him out.
So you've got this narrative now that Dubois is a different guy, so this rematch will be different. Also, you have the fact that Usyk, in the ring after his win over Tyson Fury, Dubois came into the ring, challenged him, and Usyk said, Your Excellency, Turkey, make the fight with Dubois.
As the boxing world prepares for the much-anticipated rematch between Oleksandr Usyk and Daniel Dubois, the heavyweight division is once again heating up. Following their first exciting battle, both fans and experts are speculating about what the second bout could hold. This bout has important ramifications for the heavyweight scene overall, as well as for the fighters' legacies.
Daniel Dubois against Oleksandr Usyk. Realistically, has he got any chance? We've got 30 seconds.
Of course he has. Look, it's a tough ask, of course. The thing with Usyk is he doesn't depend on his power to knock you out. He depends on his skill. That's why it's a tough ask, because he's going to box rings around you if you let him. Dubois, good luck. Don Charles, good luck. Great British boxing, good luck. We potentially might have a heavyweight championship.
Former, undisputed cruiserweight champion Oleksandr Usyk, who is renowned for his deft footwork, exceptional stamina, and sharp ring IQ, aimed to establish his supremacy among boxing's titans by moving up to heavyweight. Since going up, Usyk has shocked a lot of heavyweight purists who were skeptical about whether his abilities would transfer well to the heavyweight class. In his debut fight with Daniel Dubois in July 2023, Usyk demonstrated his speed, angles and conditioning in a masterclass victory over Anthony Joshua in September 2021, earning him the WBO, WBA, IBF and IBO heavyweight belts. Usyk once again proved his superiority by using his tactical skill to control the most of the rounds and ultimately won by unanimous vote.
I think it's a perfect timing. They're both on top, on top with great wins. Usyk obviously pound for pound the best fighter in the world. I think it's a great challenge. The first one was a little controversial. There was a little bit of controversy with the body shot and stuff like that we all disputed, and everybody has a different opinion. I think it's going to be a very competitive fight. I think Dubois is in a great moment right now. I think Dubois is a big guy. He's gonna go out there and put pressure and try to dominate with his physical strength, and Usyk, obviously great boxer, great counter puncher, very great speed and technique, but he does get affected when we see pressure on him, when we see body shots on him. So I think Dubois is going to put on a great fight.
The new generation of heavyweight contenders is exemplified by British heavyweight Daniel Dubois, who possesses tremendous knockout power. Dubois advanced up the ranks swiftly and gained a reputation as a puncher who may win a world title in the future. He was a tough opponent for anyone in the division because of his aggressive attitude and physical prowess. Dubois showed potential in his first bout against Usyk, but he was unable to properly reach Usyk and exert his power because of Usyk's better boxing abilities and evasive mobility. Although that defeat was disappointing, Dubois has been working hard to improve his conditioning and strategy in order to be ready for this rematch.
Daniel, so if you see Fury winning, how does he win in your opinion? We'll see. Let's let it play out now. It's too close to the fight to even be going over that. I want to see the best man win now.
How do you see the fight playing out in your opinion, with your mind, your expertise?
I think it's going to be a war. I think, you know, with Fury and Usyk, good styles, good clash of styles. So let's see. May the best man win.
Do you want Usyk to win to get your rematch?
I do, yeah. I've said it before. I'm here to challenge the winner.
And how does it look like with you and Fury?
Me and Fury?
Yeah.
Devastation. Great fight. Great fight.
How you feeling with this Parker fight?
Huh?
How you feeling about your Parker fight coming up?
Great. Ready to go.
All right. Thank you, Daniel.
Yeah.
We're doing a simple one. You only have to answer yes or no. Okay? First things first. Is this the fight card of the century?
Yes.
Should Dubois Parker have been the main event?
Yes. Mixed feeling, but yes.
Are you the best heavyweight in the world?
Yes.
Will you have a rematch against Usyk?
After this, yes.
Saturday night, are you going to hold on to your belt?
Yes.
Okay.
Going home on a plane with him.
He's swelling after, just starting to close a bit.
I'm going to put him to sleep properly this time. I want to nail him to the canvas.
So categorically, Oleksandr Usyk, who's a great fighter, cannot take this version of Daniel Dubois' speed and power.
No way. No way. This time it's going to be proper war. Give you guys a bloodbath and, you know, just tear him up, you know, put him to sleep.
Do you think this is the end of his career?
It will be. I'll make sure it is. I want to see England stop for that day and, you know, lifting the crown and lifting all the belts up. I want to see the whole world stop. This will be the biggest fight in the world and I want all eyes on it. So, yeah, I can't wait. It's going to be historic and powerful. And
The rematch is anticipated among boxing professionals as well. According to renowned boxing commentator and former world champion Chris Algieri, the second rematch between Usyk and Dubois will be very interesting. He draws attention to Dubois' notable gains since their first encounter, particularly in talent and mental tenacity, which make him a more formidable opponent. Algieri also highlights the fascinating contrast between Dubois' raw power and fury and his technical skill, which could make for an entertaining and dynamic bout with both fighters keen to establish themselves. Algieri anticipates an exciting match that will wow boxing fans everywhere with its energy and strategy. It looks like this rematch at Wembley will be a must-see.
But the narrative is much better for the Dubois rematch. You've got the fact that they fought, and then since then Dubois has been on a tear, beating guys that he was the underdog against, Ergovich, and then Anthony Joshua, of course. You know, the guy has like really revamped his entire career, turned it around, gone from a guy that people saw as a quitter to being potentially the most dangerous man in the world. So you've got this narrative now that Dubois is a different guy. So this rematch will be different. Also, you have the fact that Usyk in the ring after his win over Tyson Fury, Dubois came into the ring, challenged him, and Usyk said, Your Excellency, Turkey, make the fight with Dubois. He's a man of his word. That guy says something, there's a good chance it's going to happen. So I believe the narrative is there, you know, for this fight, obviously, and this is one of the reasons why it's being made.
After facing Oleksandr Usyk in 2018, former WBC cruiserweight champion Tony Bellew has been outspoken in his opinions about the rematch between Usyk and Daniel Dubois. Bellew contributes a distinct viewpoint to the conversation. Bellew has frequently commended Usyk's extraordinary abilities. He highlights Usyk's technical skill, footwork and ring intelligence as the main elements that make him a potent champion, calling him the finest heavyweight in the world and most likely the best heavyweight of our time.
Take me out off to Anthony Joshua and I take me out off to Tyson Fury because they had the cojones to face him, as did Daniel Dubois. But let's not get away from anything. Daniel Dubois fought him once and we've seen how that fight went.
Yeah.
Everyone goes on about a shot. Let's just be brutally honest, it hit the protector. Why is it called the protector? Because it protects you from certain shots. Was it like, did anyone look at the belt line of Tyson Fury before the fight?
It was high, wasn't it? Yeah, really
I mean,
high.
I was going to ask what's the neck on them shorts.
Yeah,
but
sure.
It was nuts. But no one said anything.
No.
But then ultimately when Oleksandr Usyk fights Daniel Dubois, and his shorts are on his navel, and you can clearly see his belly button at times in the fight, No one said all of a sudden is sure to high. So it's whatever suits people's narrative and agendas at the time. For people who are Fury fans, they want to say Usyk's done this or he's robbed that. For people who are Dubois fans, just look at the cold heart.
Head of the match. Anticipated rematch between Oleksandr Usyk and Daniel Dubois on July 19th at Wembley Stadium. Former super middleweight champion Carl Froch has made a daring prediction despite recognizing Usyk's better abilities. Dubois has the ability to disturb things, according to Froch. Froch notes that Usyk's performance may be impacted by his advanced age, as well as the normal wear and tear from his lengthy amateur and professional careers. Dubois, on the other hand, has made great progress since their initial meeting and is younger and more self-assured. Froch highlights Dubois' development as a boxer by pointing to his noteworthy stoppage of Anthony Joshua and his strong wins over Philip Hergo and Gerald Miller.
Can he shock the world in a word? Yes, he can, because Usyk's 30... Is he 38? I was a month away from my 37th birthday when I chinned Groves at Wembley in front of 80,000 fans and went on to become an International Boxing Hall of Famer. That was 11 years ago. It was hard for me and I did the weight easy, really. Dubois was young and fresh, and the first fight was quite close when Dubois was unsure of himself. You've got to say that Dubois now is a different machine. You've got to make Usyk the favourite, but it's a fight that Daniel Dubois can definitely win. Daniel Dubois jumped in the ring and said, let's get this fight on. I think he was told by Brickchop to do that. Jump in there, make a bit of noise. So Daniel Dubois got in there. I didn't like it because Usyk was tired. He wanted to do his interview and then he's got Daniel Dubois jumping on. But I understand, he's selling the game, aren't you? He's trying to get the next fight. But I didn't like the way he did that. And Usyk's just put in a real shift. He was tired. He was marked up. And he's now having to say, and he actually called it, didn't he? He said, Turki Al Sheikh, let's make the fight happen, let's do it. He didn't back down, he said, let's make the fight happen.
British heavyweight boxer Dave Allen has also predicted that Dubois will defeat Usyk despite being knocked out by Usyk in sparring. Because of Usyk's advanced age, he is getting close to 40, and his body, which Allen says is more appropriate for cruiserweight than heavyweight, Allen thinks Dubois has the means to win. Allen also points out that Dubois has improved significantly in recent bouts. Allen stresses the importance of timing and says he thinks Dubois should win the heavyweight belt now.
Calling for?
You know what? I've been calling for Dubois to win. I think Dubois...
is that because you think he can win, or is it because you want him to win?
I think, no, you know, Oleksandr Usyk and I got on really well. He gave me his jacket once. He gave me a coat. It was nice. It was nice of me. So
you might ask for that back.
No, I gave it to my dad. My dad won't give me it back. I think he's going to sell it soon. I just think it's about timing, really. Oleksandr Usyk, nearing 40. He's not physically... He's not a heavyweight. I don't think he's a heavyweight at all. I think he's still...
Despite beating legitimate heavyweights like Tyson Fury,
yeah, I don't think he's a heavyweight. I really don't. I think he could do cruiserweight still now. I just think it's the timing. Daniel Dubois is getting better and better all the time. And I just think this is the right time for Daniel Dubois to beat Usyk.
Jordan, Simon the talk show presenter and former chairman of Crystal Palace, has stated that he is certain Dubois can overcome Usyk in their rematch. Jordan points to Dubois' youthful strength and recent development as crucial elements that may result in an unexpected win over the seasoned Ukrainian. While acknowledging Usyk's remarkable abilities and achievements, champion Jordan speculates that his advanced age and the wear and strain from his long career may make him more susceptible. He underlines that Dubois' unadulterated strength and willpower may be the deciding factors in the battle.
I said it to Oleksandr Usyk, and there's no favouritism here. I think it's Daniel Dubois' time. I think he's a ferocious beast. Yeah, absolutely. and I think he deserves all the plaudits. I think what walked into Wembley Stadium was an absolute gladiator, and I'm thrilled for him that he's coming out of himself, growing as a man, becoming more worldly and able to communicate with the media, and I think it's going to be a fabulous fight. Do
you believe that he can get it done inside the distance?
I think he has to get it done inside the distance.
Yeah. You don't think he can win on points?
I think it's unlikely.
Yeah.
I think it's unlikely. But whatever, July 19th.
Usyk, the man he is, what he's done really for his country, to really fight during the pressure of his country being torn apart and invaded by another country, by Russia, and to fight during those times and that going on in his country with his people, and just like I said, just destroying what he loves. Ukraine. And I also have a lot of respect for Dubois, for the man he is and what he's become. That he fell apart in 2 fights. Yeah, different things happen, I get it, but physical things happen in the fight with Joyce, and then